I like the way you've started this script like a London Bobby. Hello, hello, hello. What's all this then? It's episode 10 of the Lowdown, the official Download Festival TV show with me, Bees. I'm here to bring you interviews, videos, news, the Downloads Big 10 where you can win a pair of posh VIP tickets, but most importantly, I bring the Ragers. Rager, you heard. Well then, this week's episode is an absolute rager. No, we've done that, haven't we? We've got Eddie and Mark from Suicide Silence in the house.
I think it would be some kind of combo of like a bear and like a massive golden eagle with dragon wings and a beak. So like a bear with a beak with dragon wings.
Make sure you stick about for their fan questions a little later on in the show, and we've also got the suave and sophisticated Mr. Jamie Lenman making an appearance.
There was a big gap. It was literally like the Sarlacc in Star Wars, you know? Boba Fett going in, oh no, all that business, Billy D. And then there was the crowd on the other side, how you doing? Oh, never mind. It was tough.
Plus, there's a mighty Downloads Big 10 when you can win a pair of snazzy VIP tickets, and our Crossfaith have another festival tip. You always make me sound like Cilla Black when you put our Crossfaith. That was Alter Bridge, who you'll find getting the crowd suitably warmed up for main stage headliners Aerosmith, who'll be closing the event on the Sunday and also closing the series of the Lowdown. Yes, indeed. We've only gone and got Steven Tyler on the show. He's mental. Crazy, in fact. See what we've done there? Right, time for a break. More download goodness coming your way. Don't change your channel, yeah? We'll break your fucking legs. So your legs are intact. Hello and welcome back to the Lowdown. This week's special guests are Suicide Silence, who make a very welcome return to the fold. Have a look at this. Eddie and Mark from Suicide Silence on the Lowdown. So, you first started playing shows as the new incarnation of Suicide Silence on Soundwave, was that right? Mm-hmm. Did it come straight in the pocket straight away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not convincing by the suddenness
no work
of that.
at all. We had never played a show together. No, we actually spent a lot of time kind of refining everything. All of us were fucking devastatedly nervous for the whole thing.
But we were anxiously nervous.
Yeah.
Was it that kind of I'm pretty sure this is going to rule, but can we just get out there and do it?
Kinda, yeah. We wanted to get that first one done because all of us know what it's like to be on tour for one. Mm-hmm. And on tour, you want to get that first show done, that second show done, that third show done, and then it's like, all right, now we're on, and now we're just going. But yeah, I mean, I would say the first time we really hit the stage together and we were doing it, it was one of those. I always use the word cathartic or it's such a just moment that is you can't compare to anything, and it for me personally, just coming back, for me it's a comeback, so it's different from Eddie, but it was an absolute holy goddamn. I look to my right, there's some friends, fucking John Green and people from Australia, and then look to my left and I have Dan Kenny and Eddie and Garza. Look back, I see Alex. It's just fuck, and look out in the crowd, and this is boom, here it is, it's back. It's felt so good.
The 10 minutes after you come off stage must have been the biggest emotional release imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was. I was still very exhilarated, and I just immediately started drinking. So that was a good time. But before going on, so we worked our asses off for this first show. We were just this needs to go off without a hitch. We're gonna be playing in front of a huge crowd. Really nervous about maybe choosing the biggest show ever to start with.
It's at the deep end.
And it's all right, we're just gonna jump in.
Didn't really hit us until we were there. That it was fuck, this is really fucking big.
We're driving to our stage as fucking Down is going on, and you're just oh, sick, that's Phil and Selma. But so we get there, and here I am doing my ritual, getting ready, and Alex is freaking the fuck out. So
what's your ritual?
My rituals are usually. We'll get into that. Let me get into this story because you're how the show went off so well is beyond me. But Alex was was tripping out when we get there, and I was like, what's wrong with Alex? Everybody come. Nobody's telling me. Everybody's trying to running around getting everything set up, and I finally got a glimpse of what was really going on, and Alex's drum triggers had gone out completely. So, so his kick drum sound was non-existent.
Yeah, we played in we had 15 minutes to figure it out.
And luckily, one of the I Artist Murders guys was breaking down the set, and we asked them to ask Lee to lend us the brain, is what we call it.
Yeah.
We didn't know them yet. Now we're good friends with them.
I bet.
Thank you, that Artist Murder.
Yeah. And luckily it went off, but I mean, think about it, it's your first show, your drums don't work.
You need, man.
So yeah, that was freaking me the fuck out. But my rituals include stretching. I usually warm my voice up like as much of a trained singer as I can be. You know, I've done some schooling, but it's mostly just getting into the zone, getting that changing character, if you will, kind of becoming a different person.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but were the seeds sown for this incantation of Suicide Silence at the Mitch Memorial Show?
No, not really. The Mitch Memorial Show was really it was what it was. I mean, it was a memorial show. Eddie was the first person that really popped up, one of the first people that popped up that we would be able to contact right away and kind of get the ball rolling on it. So when we were thinking about what we wanted to do, and we wanted to put together a show, and we were just, how are we going to do it? Well, let's try and get a couple singers to do it, and then, Eddie's name came up, and then a couple more, and they were like, that's a lot of names. We could probably get a bunch of people to come down and have a different singer for every song, and but no, I mean it wasn't really we weren't really walking into that show. I remember looking at it as this could potentially be the last time we play.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And when did the thought go, okay, we're gonna get back on the horse and this guy's the guy?
That came more months into 2013, where we would just want to meet up once a month, and we would want to hang out together and talk about how everybody was feeling, and just what we wanted to do, and what everybody was up to, and just how everybody was, kind of just as a group therapy for ourselves. Yeah, and everything would come up. We had our manager there too, and he's absolutely not, when I say manager, if people are watching, they're thinking some dude in a suit, but it's no, he's our friend, he's been our manager for a really long time, and he wanted us to get together for the good of us as a family, as brothers, and eventually it was just everybody was ready to play again. Everybody was ready to whatever seemed like was a consensus and what we all wanted to do, we were ready to do, and once Eddie's name came up, it was so weird. There's some kid out there that commented on an Instagram picture in December of 2012 that said I heard Eddie from All Shall Perish is your guys' new singer, way before we even thought about him.
Right.
And anything. And Eddie's just always been such a good friend of ours, and someone that it's one of those constant connections where it's you text Eddie, it turns into a how you been, what's up, what's going on, always just up on what's going on with All Shall Perish and Eddie, and that was really weird to me, because it wasn't for a couple months before I, or whoever it was, said it out loud at one of those meetings, we should see if Eddie would be down to try recording his voice on one of our songs, just see what it sounds like, see how we feel about it, and that was where the gears started turning.
It's so funny because that's exactly how it came to my table. It was hey, would you just kind of do us the favor of helping us see what it's like for somebody other than Mitch singing these songs?
Yeah.
And I was absolutely. I was anything you guys fucking need. If you guys are going to continue this band, that's what you should be doing. That's what Mitch would fucking want, and I'm happy to help in any way. And I turned it around really quickly. I literally got home, hit up.
I wasn't even aware of it for a few days. It existed for a few days, and he had done it, and then it got sent to me, and I was what?
Well, they asked
this happened
me
already?
They asked me, and I went home and did it. I was yeah, sure. It's one song.
Helping your buddies.
I can record it in a couple hours. It's not a big deal. I was very familiar with the song, and I did it. And literally the day after they heard it, they were there's no way we can even ask anybody else. So can you figure this out? Can you see what's up with us? And I said, give me a little bit of time. I I still got a lot going on
over
over
here.
here.
That was the nail-biting time for
Yeah.
us, where we were like, kind of sold on the idea, like, you know, if Eddie doesn't do it, like, we don't want to have a second choice. You know, we don't want to be like, well, we feel so strong about Eddie, but we don't want him to turn it down, and then we're like, well, on to the next idea. You know, we didn't want that kind of bullshit. So like, him saying like, give us a little bit of time. It turned into like a month and a half or 2 months where we're like,
sat there like
3 months.
like that lucky rabbit's foot.
It was the waiting time was, and I'm happy that they were patient and they weren't just like, you know what, fuck this, we're not going to keep going, or we're just going to find somebody else. But it was from April till, what was it, June, July, when I finally was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm down. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
So from the deep end in Soundwaves to the UK's getting its first look at you guys at Download Festival, in at the deep end again.
Yeah.
So you've played Download before. Have you done Download before,
Never,
Eddie?
dude.
Amazing.
Never.
Sick.
It's one of those festivals that's always eluded me, and I fucking couldn't be more stoked. Now that I have done Soundwave and now I'm here to do Download, I'm already fired up. I already know how I feel on stage, and I know
Eddie
that,
to the wolves.
dude, right? Luckily, I've been doing
That's
this.
you lot.
Luckily, this is my first rodeo, so
Yeah,
you know, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm coming from on stage. I know kind of what the crowd is going to bring. The energy has felt very similar to every single show we've played, including the Golden God Awards, where, I mean, it's an award show. Nobody fucking moves. Nobody pits. Nobody even yells, because it's a taped award show. And at that show, we still managed to get a pit going.
People scream.
We were getting some of the loudest cheers. So I mean, it's the band's a force, and these guys make it really easy for me to go out there and just shred it. So
Killer, stick around. Suicide Silence is going to be answering your questions a little bit later on. That was The Offspring, and will now be playing Smash in its entirety when they headline the Zippo stage at this year's Download Festival. Cool, that's bloody exciting. Hello and welcome back to the Lowdown, the official Download Festival TV show with me, Bees. It's part 3. Oh God, here we go. It's time for the Download's Big 10. We ask the silly questions, you give the silly answers. Well, in this case, it's another question. Best one wins. Bring it on. This has just been described to me as Inception, so I see what he means now. Last week we asked, if you had to write a question for the Download's Big 10, what would it be? So here we go. In at number 10, Kaney Cakes Lambell says, if you could have a question about a question within a question, what would it be and why? Questionception. Number 9, Jake, I'm astounded I did that first time. Jake Holborow says, what's the most valuable thing you've thrown away at a Download festival? Number 8, James Goldthorpe says, if Guns N' Roses played Download, how long would Axl Rose delay the set by? Number 7, Madihaljaz says, if you could gender swap anyone playing Download this year, who would it be and what would be their new name? Number 6, Rob Sheekey says, who would you throw into a wall of death and why? Number 5, Emily Choudhury says, you're at Download and every act is fronted by Chad Kroeger. Every other member of the original band is still there and they are playing their own songs. What do you do? Number 4, Matt Bernier says, if you had a mating call, what would it sound like and who would respond? Number 3, Jason McIntee says, ask what they really think about the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre. Top work. Number 2, Tracy Newman says, if you had a fairground ride at Download Festival, what would you name it? And number 1, winning a pair of tickets at Download Festival, Grace Mackintosh says, out of all the band members playing Download, who would you face paint and what would you paint on them? Congratulations, Grace Mackintosh, you're going to Download. 2 VIP tickets coming your way. We'll be in contact over Facebook. The rest of you, this is your last chance to win tickets. Best head over to the Scuzz Facebook page now and answer Grace's question. Winner announced on the Aerosmith final edition of the Lowdown next week. Oh, I can't wait for that. His headwear's better than mine. The ever-eccentric Mr. Jamie Lenman. Bees, I'm here with Mr. Jamie Lenman on the Lowdown. What's going on?
What's going on? I come here to London town to speak to you.
I'm privileged,
in the
man.
green room. You're looking nice. Nice to
Thanks.
see you again.
I have my moments.
Is this the Rocky Horror Lips here?
It's not. It's from a Grace Jones film called Vamp
I'm gonna have
from
to
the
check it out.
80s. You're going to have to, man.
Yeah,
it's a
pretty
good
good.
one.
Very nice.
So, acoustic on the Jägermeister stage. You've just made a record that's really bloody heavy and really acoustic.
Yeah.
So that presumably writes your set list for you.
Well, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But I mean, I'm not going to play acoustic on that stage. I'm going to give it all.
Oh, really?
I'm going to come with all the balls. Yeah.
It's the first time we've heard that this series.
All the balls.
Yeah, all the balls.
It's going to be the phrase. Yeah, the phrase of the series. Yeah, I'm going to let it get serious up there.
Serious balls.
I don't have enough acoustic songs to do a whole acoustic
Right.
set. You just have the three, and then it'd be me ad-libbing for 45 minutes. No one wants that.
And you've done Download a couple of times with Ruben.
Many times, yeah.
Do you remember the first time that you, that you played Download?
Are you
Not
asking me
anything
this because
naughty.
you remember the first time?
No.
Because it was pretty bad. Because they had us, I mean, you know.
Here we go.
It might have been fun for some people, but they got like the skate bowl. Have you seen like a skate bowl?
Yeah.
And then people going up and down on their skateboards and their bikes, and that's cool, isn't it? And fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Download. But perhaps don't put like a band on one side of the skate bowl and the audience on the other side of the skate bowl, right? There's a loss of immediacy there.
There's
a loss of
not
context.
not in the way of intimacy there, is
So
there?
we had to play this set, and I had to somehow project that energy across, like literally, I think
across
they-
a cavern.
I think they'd stopped skateboarding, but there was a big gap. It was literally like the Sarlacc in Star Wars, you know? Boba Fett going in, oh no, all that business, Billy D. And then there was the crowd on the other side, how you doing? Oh, never mind. It was tough, but I earned my spurs. And so next time when the crowd were like only a mile away.
Had you really looked forward to it as well? Like first time at the hallowed turf of Castle Donington?
I was excited, but you know what? It was made better because in the dressing room, a whole box of Snickers.
Oh man!
So
Because it was the Snickers
It
bowl,
was a Snickers
wasn't it?
bowl. So I didn't mind too much. I mean, I say like, oh my goodness, but actually it was a good
Chocolate,
gig.
you know, fair
The
enough.
reaction was good, and then afterwards, after the set, I went and I said hello to everyone, and everyone had a good time. But
wicked.
it was hard work, let's we say. But most things that are good are hard, aren't they?
Yeah, it is, fair point.
Don't use that as a soundbite. but
No,
you know what I'm talking about.
it's all right, you're not on the
If
record.
it's not hard work, it doesn't really mean anything. So I think that was good, really.
Main stage one was wicked though. I
Yeah.
remember you being like hangover o'clock on the final day, if I remember rightly.
I had a cold. Did we know each other then?
I don't think we did, mate.
I had a cold, so I was a bit nervous.
Oh, man.
And again, that was very hard work because we were on like maybe a second on the Sunday, and I think most people were still asleep. So, and by the end, I think if you watch the footage, by the end we actually had quite a good
Yeah,
crowd. But
man.
at the start, not so many. And so again, had to work pretty hard to say, come up from your tents, wake up everyone.
Yeah.
Stop buying the sausages over there. And I think by the end it was a good show. If we could have started at the end of our set, that would have been monumental.
It feels like, in your absence, like the cult of Reuben kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger. So are you looking forward to this?
I think that says a lot about the actual band,
Yeah, you
doesn't
were
it?
at your biggest when you weren't around.
Exactly. When we stopped playing, that's
Yeah.
when we got popular. And I think, that speaks volumes.
It feels like there's a lot of people ready and happy about a Jamie Lenman set now, like loads of people,
Yeah,
as
I hope
opposed
so.
to like...
Well, so, I mean, as we discussed, some of my best times in that band were at Download, actually. The weird stages notwithstanding, it was always a good time. So I'm very pleased to have been asked back, and I'm looking forward to, bringing all the balls to the Jaeger stage.
And, so Muscle Memory, you've been touring it a while now.
Yeah,
Are you in the groove with playing these songs?
I am actually, yeah.
Because it's a bizarre record. It goes from like unrelenting heaviness to like bizarre skiffleness. Is
Yeah.
skiffleness a word? Can I get away with that?
You can have skiffle. I haven't heard bizarre
Skifflety?
skiffleness, that's nice.
Good.
I've heard thrash jazz terror.
Oh God!
Which I
Did the
like.
NME write that?
No! I don't send the copies to the fucking enemy, and I can buy it if they want. No. No, I don't know who said that, but I
Yeah.
mean, they could be my friend for life.
Okay.
What was the question?
Yeah, like you in the pocket with it live because
Sure,
it's a varied
sure. No, I think we
record and
are.
like
Yeah.
presumably like the live set goes now this and now this and now this and
you
now
think
some
so,
of that.
but that's the good thing if I play, because a lot of people wondered if I was going to play the old songs from the old band. And, of course I will, because they're good songs and they're my songs
They
and
are.
I like playing them and people like hearing them. And what's good is that, those songs sort of sit in the middle, don't they?
Yeah.
So you've got stuff from the heavy side of Muscle Memory, blah,
Yeah.
and then you've got like a Ruben song, which is a bit like la 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 la,
Yeah.
and then you've got stuff from the soft side of Muscle Memory, it's like ooh la la. So it actually flows quite well. I use those old Ruben songs as like cement, as it were, in
And do you
between
know
the
what?
bricks.
If that 15 seconds didn't convince you to go and see Jamie Lemon, you need your head checked.
Do it.
Do you know what day you're on?
I do, I'm on Friday.
There you go, Friday on the Jägermeister stage, Mr. Jamie Lemon. Time for a break, but before you go, here we go. The highlight of my week, the highlight of your week is Crossfaith with a little festival tip that might probably come in handy. Will it?
Nobody wants a free house. If your hugs are free, it probably means they are a lot quality.
Free hack, free hack. I didn't.
More from Ken and Hiroki next week. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to the final part of the Lowdown, the official Download Festival TV show with me, Bees. Let's dive straight in with your fan questions to Suicide Silence. Welcome back to the Lowdown, Suicide Silence, to answer your questions. Samuel Jacquet says, if you guys would have a giant, demonic, possibly fire-breathing mascot on stage, a la Avenged Sevenfold's Bat King or Dio's Demon Murray, what would it be and what would you call it? Also, he's really excited about the new record.
Okay, I think it would be some kind of combo of like a bear and like a massive golden eagle with dragon wings and a beak. So like a bear with a beak with dragon wings, and I don't know, I'd probably call it like
Bear Pig?
Yeah, call it man bear pig. Dude man bear pig.
I think that it would be the snakes, the two S's that are snakes,
killer.
and kind of shooting fire at each other or away from each other. I think.
That would be more traditional.
metal as fuck.
That would be more traditional.
That'd be cool.
I heard Aerosmith are bringing the snow machine. Daniel Birch says, any ideas on when a UK tour will be announced?
Yeah, once we leave Download.
Yeah.
Once we get done at
Excellent.
Download,
Yeah.
then we'll announce what we're going to do.
My wife will
like-
kill me, so stop there. All right? Mesa Boogie Dan, sorry, my missus works for Live Nation. Mesa Boogie Dan says, oh, this is a blinder. Best power ballad of all time.
Power ballad. Well, dude, it's the More Than Words. Is that?
That's a good
Mr.
shout.
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Big.
That's best power.
I'm having
ballad.
Alone by heart.
All right. Every rose has a thorn.
I'm always singing
You're a
it.
power ballad demon, Eddie.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love that shit.
Yeah, no, there is no good power ballad.
At Got the Life 83 says, should
Yes.
Pantera return with Zach?
Yes. Yes.
A resounding yes.
Absolutely.
Tyler Cobber Joel says, zombie vampires or space dinosaurs?
Space dinosaurs.
Zombie
Sounds
vampires. That sounds like a really good thing mixed with a really horrible thing.
But vampires are already the undead, and so are zombies.
Well, yeah, it's a little double negative there.
Space dinosaurs.
Space
on the other hand.
Dinosaurs sounds fucking awesome.
Isn't
What,
that-
they have,
isn't
like,
that-
space
isn't that-
gills?
Isn't that what that show Dinosaurs was based off of? Not the mama? Aren't they space dinosaurs?
Yeah, I'm up
Maybe.
for
They're
it.
from like
They
another
are.
dimension or some shit?
Maybe. But they spoke for a start, so it's not
Yeah,
out of
right.
the realms. Cuddles87 said, who was the last person that made you starstruck?
Phil Anselmo.
Fuck.
Oh, that's a mad one.
Yeah.
I actually had to reassess my entire life hanging out with him, just because I'm sitting in front of somebody who it's like, I modeled my whole world after your band and you and everyone in your band and the way you guys were, and then it's like now I'm hanging out backstage and listening to the new Down record, and it's like you're just being you and I don't know how to be me. Like,
Yeah.
I would say Jerry Cantrell from
Oh,
Alice in
mad
Chains.
one.
He walked up and I just couldn't help but be like, I'm a big fan of yours, and which is like the biggest thing you don't do to anybody, especially when you're a musician. But yeah, it was we played Soundwave together.
If it makes you feel better, he came on the show last year and everyone on the crew had a photo with him afterwards, so totally we're in the same boat.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that was the dude that got me.
Simon Southampton FC Deer says, if you could play a set with one other band, who would it be and why?
play with them.
Yeah, like it'd be like Suicide Silence and Another band.
Oh God! Well, we play with that's the greatest thing about Suicide Silence. We play with everybody we want to play with.
Yeah.
I would say.
Alive or dead, then?
Well, God damn.
I would love to play with like.
I want to play with
Black,
the Who.
Like
Okay.
the Who.
I wanna play with the Who.
I'd say Black Sabbath in like the 60s or 70s.
Killer.
I think that would be a fucking killer band to be on tour with.
Matty Park says, what one band are you a mega fan of? Which is a hard question, so I'm going to say, who was your favourite band when you were a kid?
Well, I'm a mega fan of Gojira.
Oh, killer
I love
choice.
Gojira.
I'm a mega fan of Faith No More.
Killer. Jake Holborow says, Eddie, do you like chicken noodles?
Chicken noodles, duh.
Yeah, who
Especially when I'm
who
sick.
doesn't like chicken noodles?
But I prefer ramen noodles. You know, out of the really shitty pack of noodles that
hard
you
pack.
can't. You know that, and I really like the chicken flavor. I'll eat 2 of them, and I'll throw on an anime and just sit there.
Man,
And just,
I've just come back from Japan, right? I'm avoiding all ramen for about 6 months because it was so rad out there.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
yeah,
just
the
had
real
Asian-
ramen. But
God,
I'm talking about
man.
I'm talking about the not real
You're talking
ramen.
like
Shitty.
99 cents.
Like add hot water.
Not
Watch
even
it
99
expand.
cents, dude. It's like 30 cents a pack.
Yeah, right.
Killer. Twisted Champ says, Mark, can I have some beard tips? Mine's terrible.
Wake up. Don't shave.
It would be awesome first.
Before you go to sleep, don't shave. Yeah.
You don't strike me as a guy who's like, oh, coconut oil and shit.
No, not at all. I'm actually I had a wedding that I went to, and my friend, I know that if I was to get married, he would go to the barber and he would do himself up real nice. So I did that for him, and I regret it because now my beard looks too nice.
Oh, man. Jamie Cohen says, what's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. I would have to say Britney Spears.
Wow, power ballads and Britney Spears. You learn something new every day, Eddie.
What can I say?
Mine. I mean, I guess I don't even find it guilty anymore. Is Blink-182. It's just like Wayne's World. They say, like Frampton Comes Alive. It's delivered to your house with like packets of Tide. Like literally, there was a VHS Blink-182 delivered to my house when I was in like 2nd grade.
Yeah.
So
Winner.
yeah, Josie.
Jensen Tyson says, what would you do on the tour bus that would make Jesus cry?
Everything.
Shit in the bag, defile
Yeah.
people.
Shitting in bags and throwing it out of the moving vehicle.
You
is-
kind of become used to it in your game, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
That kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah,
It's
hot
just
bags.
part and parcel.
It's called a hot bag.
Watching as much porn as humanly possible in your bunk.
Oh,
and
okay. You put the TV on. You have satellite in the States, and then there's TVs in all the bunks. The thing is that nobody wants to go out there and put it on porn, but somebody in the middle of the
Always
night
does,
always
dude.
goes and puts it on. So
Georgia Fuentes says, why are you called Suicide Silence? And who came up with the name?
Suicide Silence was originally a logo drawn by Garza, our other guitar player, founding member of the band. Suicide Silence sounded cool.
Metal as fuck.
Metal as fuck. He drew it so it looked like it was slashed with knives, and that was the original logo.
Yeah.
And literally, his vision was to start the heaviest band ever and have the heaviest band name ever. So that's where it came from.
Suicide Silence is going to be caning it on the Pepsi Max stage on the Sunday of this year's Download Festival. The record is called You Can't Stop Me. It's out in July, and it's an absolute madman.
yeah.
He's right.
I am. It's true.
totally
It
right.
happens every now and then. So that's your lot for fan questions this series, but if you've missed any of the interviews and all the questions that have been asked up to now, our interviews are over on the Download YouTube page. That wasn't written on the thing, I've had to just ad-lib that. Pay rise. Right, join me on next week's show, the final in the series, where I will be chatting to Aerosmith legend, Mr. Steven Tyler. What more do you need to know? An Aerosmith Lowdown special premieres next Friday at 6 p.m. Over and out. God, you are going to love it. You slag. You fucking will, wouldn't you, you mugs? Can we keep that?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Excellent. Hey! The official Download Festival TV show with me, Bees. Let's dive head straight Let's dive head straight. You generally do dive head first, don't you? Can you dive with your feet first? What are you talking about, Terry?